I've accepted being invisible and alone. That's what one viewer wrote on my last video. Another one wrote, most of my friends died of AIDS, and as we get older, friends or acquaintances pass. But then other viewers wrote things like, I've been lucky and had my husband for the past 50 years. Or this one, me and my partner couldn't imagine becoming old without our own family. The difference between these stories, that's what this video is about. Maybe you know that feeling too, walking into a gay bar and feeling like you might as well be invisible. Or scrolling through dating apps where it seems like everyone's either 25 or looking for someone who is. I've been there. The way our community worships youth, it can really get to you, especially when dating profiles explicitly say under 40 only, or you're automatically filtered out before anyone even sees you. It's like there's this unspoken expiration date on desirability, right? And it's not just about looks. It's that sinking feeling that maybe you've missed your window. All the good guys are already taken. The dating pool has shrunk to a puddle. I felt this anxiety about dating even in my 40s, but what I learned since then, things that happened and also people that I've met, especially men thriving in their 50s, 60s and beyond, all of this opened my eyes. And in just a moment, I'm going to share 5 secrets that completely changed how I see dating as an older gay man. These aren't just feel-good tips. They're practical insights from my own experience and from what I've learned from men who are successfully dating and finding love regardless of their age. Let's start with secret number 1. This first secret might surprise you, or it would be challenging to digest at first, but stay with me. If you ever felt like you're past your prime or you're feeling invisible, look around at who's surrounding you, what gay spaces you hang out in, where you're looking for connection and love. Is it gay bars, Grindr, Scruff, gay Instagram, pride parties? That's the bubble. That's where youth is everything. And when you're inside it, it feels like the entire gay universe is like that. But it's not. It's just a very loud, very visible part of gay life that's making you think the whole gay world revolves around being young. My wake-up call happened when I traveled to Asia and later spent years living there. In countries like Japan, Thailand, or Taiwan, I saw how the gay society views age differently. Many gay guys view older age as being more desirable. Not everyone, of course, but the youth-centric bubble is much, much smaller there. And that's what opened my eyes. If age can be valued so differently in one place, maybe I was wrong about how everyone sees age here at home. Turns out, I was right. I started noticing all these communities and spaces back home that weren't caught up in the youth obsession at all. Like this book club that I joined. Some of the members were over 50 and age was never even a topic of conversation. Or this gay professional network where people actually valued the decades of experience that older members had brought. So I'm talking communities of gay men who either don't care about age or actually prefer older partners. People who value life experience and maturity just as much as they do in Asia. The difference is, these communities aren't as loud or visible as the youth-focused scene, and they were always here. I just hadn't seen them before because I was stuck in that bubble. Once you see that it's just a bubble, you can't unsee it. Kind of like that moment in the Matrix where Neo sees the truth. And then you realize there are so many spaces and people out there who will appreciate you for exactly who you are at exactly the age you are. Which brings me to secret number 2. I've gotten so many comments to my last video sharing the same kind of experience. When I'm in a gay bar, I feel invisible. This is tough, and I get it. I've been there too. And unfortunately, it makes sense. It's like trying to find a book club at a gym. You're just in a space that isn't set up for what you're looking for. But the good news is, there are other places where real opportunities exist. Mixed age communities, travel groups, interest-based clubs, and other activities. And I'm talking about both online and in person. Think about it. When you meet someone through a shared interest, age becomes secondary. Whether it's a gay hiking group, a queer book club, a LGBTQ plus baking meetup, these are places where connections happen naturally, based on who you are, not how old you are. I know a couple who met at a gay hiking group. They've been together for 8 years now. Another one found love at a wine tasting event. These spaces work because they bring together people who share interests first, making age much less important. And now let's talk about dating apps. And don't roll your eyes just yet. There are actually apps specifically designed for mature gay men. For example, Silver Daddies, love the name, but it works. Then there's Growler and Daddy Hunt. But if this is not your style, no problem. Mainstream apps like Match.com can be surprisingly good for us because they attract people looking for real connections, not just hookups. And here's something to keep in mind if you're still not convinced about the opportunities out there. You don't need thousands of guys to like you. You don't even need dozens. You just need one right person. And in the right places, with the right approach, that one person becomes much easier to find. And now secret number 3. It might surprise you. Dating actually gets easier with age. I know. Hear me out on this one. Remember in your 20s and 30s, all that energy spent trying to be what everyone else wanted? Maybe you were constantly second-guessing or feeling pressure to fit in or getting anxious about what others think. The one thing I love about advancing in my age is that all that noise just fades away. One of the best things about getting older is the opportunity to become more comfortable in your own skin. For me, age brought this gradual shift. I stopped pretending so much. I started figuring out who I really am and what I actually want. And even more importantly, what I don't want. Now, I'm not saying everyone automatically gets there just by aging. It's a journey, and we're all at different points. But even small steps towards being more real can be magnetic. When you start giving yourself permission to be authentic, people notice. Do you know what else disappears with age? All that drama about things that really don't matter. Remember stressing about what to wear to a first date? Now you have your style. Worried about impressing his friends? Now you know true connections happen one-on-one first. Are you anxious about having the perfect body? Now you understand that genuine attraction goes way deeper than that. And here's what's fascinating. This authenticity is attractive to both older and younger men. They're drawn to someone who's real, who has stories to tell, who has figured out who they are. And while everyone else is still playing games, you're just being yourself. And that's your superpower. The irony is, dating gets better exactly when you stop trying so hard to make it work. Because when you're younger, every date feels like an audition. But now you're not auditioning anymore. You're choosing. And that changes everything. Which brings us to secret number 4. I call this the experience advantage. And it's game-changing. My first serious relationship lasted 6 years. And looking back, it had all the ingredients to last a lifetime, except one: emotional maturity. Today, I handle relationship challenges completely differently, and I'm sure my ex does too. Those same situations that used to cause drama, they're now just conversations to have. And that's the thing about relationship skills. They're like a muscle, and your years on this planet give you the perfect opportunity to develop them. It doesn't even matter if you had a long-term relationship yet or if social situations aren't your strong suit. That's okay. What matters is that you've had decades of life experience to learn from. Whether it's from friendships, family relationships, or work interactions, you've seen what works and what doesn't. You've probably learned that really listening works better than just waiting to talk, or that finding solutions feels better than winning arguments. Even if you're still working on these skills, we're all work in progress. But you have a huge advantage: the wisdom to know what skills are worth developing. And the great thing is, unlike young guys who are just figuring this stuff out, you can skip a lot of the drama. You can focus directly on what actually matters in building a connection. And then there's a practical side. Let's be real. A lot of relationship stress comes from financial pressure. When you're younger, deciding where to live, dealing with student loans, sharing everyday expenses, everything that involves money can cause major tension. And while not everyone reaches financial stability with age, that's just the reality. But many of us do get to a point where money becomes less of a daily stress. And when that happens, instead of money being a source of tension, it becomes a tool for building a life together. And here's the biggest advantage of all. You know how to be a partner, not just have a partner. Young love is beautiful, but mature love, that's powerful. Because now you understand that relationships aren't just about finding someone perfect. They're about building something perfect for you both. And now to secret number 5. Now this is something I learned the hard way, but it completely changed my dating life. Let me share what worked for me. Take a look at your typical week right now. How much time do you spend watching TV alone? Maybe you already have some regular activities. Work if you haven't retired yet, or taking care of your home, or maybe you've got a comfortable routine, but it's not really leading to new connections. Now, imagine redirecting some of that time and energy into what I call a joy list. Actual specific things that make you happy, just for you. It could be joining a gay men's choir, or getting back to playing piano at home, or taking pottery class, or mastering new recipes in your kitchen. Meeting friends for coffee instead of just texting them. Maybe exploring meditation or yoga. What happens is almost magical. You start enjoying life more, and you also start meeting people who share similar interests. And these connections are so much more natural because they come from a place of sharing joy, not from desperately looking for someone to make you happy. Here's a simple but powerful exercise I want you to try. Plan your ideal week. Actually write it down. What would you do each day if you're staying single? Fill it with things that bring you satisfaction. And then ask yourself, how could a partner enhance this life you've built? Not change it, not fix it, but add to it. When you focus on building a life you love, 2 things happen. First, you develop a clearer picture of who's actually right for your life and who isn't. And second, you naturally start making new connections with people who share your interests and values. And yes, some of those might turn into something more. I also want to invite you to my private newsletter where I share learnings and strategies for finding and keeping love and how to navigate this world of gay dating and relationships. You get it once a week and it's free. So check out the link in the video description and see you in your inbox.